Hello. How are you? So I've always had this dream of being a rock star. It's not going to happen, but this job is the closest thing that I'll ever come to being a rock star. I want to thank ReelAbilities for everything. I remember when I first heard about the festival, I was like, how could you not be part of that? Right? It just makes sense. It's for people with disabilities, by people with disabilities, in front of the camera, behind the camera. And they just got better each and every year. And we just happen to be part of that. And it's been great because we've been able to pull in the Taxi and Limousine Commission. We got the mayor here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for showing up. Pleasure to have you here. It's first time that a mayor, I think, first time that a mayor has come to this event, right? Yeah, it is. There we go. Third time is a charm. And we got mayor here. We got mayor's office of people with disabilities, media and entertainment, because it matters, and representation matters. Aisha, was really nice to hear a corporation saying they're going to make that commitment. And be careful what you say, because we're going to hold you accountable. And I welcome you into the arena. I'm starting a new job in a big corporation, and we too are looking to make that commitment to make sure that people with disabilities are represented in everything that we do. So thank you. Today, my wife was Susan, my beautiful wife Susan, who's been a part of me for over 20-something years now, right? Yeah, and then you look at the kindness in her eyes. If you hear about some of the conversations, she's like, that's not true all the time. But just the idea of being represented is important. And being represented in this great city is important. And Susan and I were talking about a tagline that I've gotten people to say, or mayors to say. And it is working to make New York City the most accessible city in the world, right? Right? Yes. But that's not too attainable sometimes. We're an old city with a lot of infrastructure and a lot of different areas to tackle. And people laughed at me. Oh, you're making New York City the most accessible city in the world. But we got people to say it. We got people to think it, to dare to be able to do it. And this is what we've been able to do. We have increased accessible, affordable housing. We have brought data around people with disabilities to say that there are close to 1 million people with disabilities living in the city of New York every day. And we know that number is close to 2 million. We know people are underrepresented in that. We have an annual report that we come out to make sure that we tell everybody exactly what we're doing. We added accessible taxis on the street. Yes, I understand the lawyers in the room, that there was a lawsuit with that. I get it. But you know what? We came in and we tackled it. Not only did we tackle and added more accessible taxis on the street, we went even further and used our powers of government to ensure that we push those ride-sharing apps to be accessible. Right now, there are about 5,000 accessible vehicles on the streets of New York City. I have to give a big shout out to Alex Elagudin for all the hard work that he put forward to that when he was at the Taxi and Limousine Commission. We've made sure that we had a cultural plan that was driven and had people with disabilities represented in that, right? Making sure disability artists are represented in that, right? In everything that we do. We've made sure that we've had representation with disability service facilitators and agencies. We employed over 500 people with disabilities in real jobs with real pay and real benefits that have kept their jobs during the pandemic, right? We have a long way to go, but we can do it. The mayor's here. He's given us his commitment to people with disabilities. He knows that disabilities are not seen and invisible, like he talked about his learning disability. That's important. But he's talking about that. He's bringing it out. He's letting people understand that disability exists in every way, shape, and form. Important things. Now, I think about what's going to happen next. We're going to hire a person with the disability to do the job on the next go around. I don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure I have faith in the mayor to be able to pick the right person. But when you do that, we need to make sure that you keep people accountable. Every night, I went to bed thinking about all the people in this room and how I can improve their lives on a daily basis. I did that every night for 10 years, consistently. Every day, every night, on and on and on. Because I am proud to have a disability. And I know that when I grow up and get older in this city, that I'm gonna need more accessibility as it goes forward. And when I did that every night and went to sleep, it was you, each and every one of us, that accomplished what I just mentioned before. Without you, I can't do my job. Without the people and staff at MOPD, if you can raise your hand, Mayor's Office of People with Disabilities. There we go, right over there. The most important people in this room to be able to drive accessibility. I've had a lot of support in my life, from the time I've got hurt to my therapist, to my wife and kids, but no one has been as important to me in my life, and from the day I got hurt to this day forward, as my sister Anna Maria. Anna Marie, stand up. There you go. From the day I got hurt and everything that she's done for me and continues to do for me, I value her and I thank her for that. And I thank everyone for being here tonight. I thank everyone from the festival. And what was really cool is today I got flowers in the mail. I got beer in the mail, and I got dessert. So, and the cool part was I didn't have to give it back, because that would have went over the city rules. I could actually keep it now. How cool is that? I followed the ethics rules. Brendan McGuire, you'd be happy to know that, counsel to the mayor, I saw him earlier. But in any event, let's get on with the show and watch the specials, and thank you, everybody, I appreciate it.